Today on YouTube 101, is it made for kids? Welcome to Mina Studio. My name's Nathan, and with me as always is my tech director, Ronald. He's back there on the keys. And welcome to YouTube 101 for churches. We're going to demystify some of the features and options on YouTube that you might encounter as a church. Today we're going to take a look at the Made for Kids option. Should you select it, and what does it mean for your video if you do? To the YouTubes. So the Made for Kid options on YouTube are fairly new. They were put in place recently to comply with the COPA guidelines to keep kids safe on the internet. So you'll find this Made for Kids option in two places. The first one is in your general channel settings, and this is asking you if your channel, the whole channel, is made for kids or not. So you'll see that here. This is in general settings under channel, and then under advanced settings here. And you got three options. Yes, this channel is made for kids. I always upload content made for kids. No, this channel is not made for kids. I never upload content made for kids. And then the final one, I want to review this setting for every video. So the other place you'll find this is on the upload page, which I'll show you in just a second, for each individual video. For most churches, I would recommend the I want to review this setting for every video, because a lot of churches upload sermons and worship services that aren't necessarily for kids, but they also might occasionally upload things from the children's ministry that are made for kids. So in general, it's probably best for you to use the I want to review this setting for every video, unless you know you're only uploading like sermons and it's never going to be for kids. So you can set that there and you'll still get to review it on every video, no matter what you pick. Now let's go to where you'll most often see it, and this is when you upload a video. So when you upload a video, all the info will pop up, the upload details like the title, the thumbnail, all that on the first page here. We'll talk about this in another YouTube video, by the way. But if you scroll down, you'll see near the bottom here we have the Is It Made for Kids option. You have yes and no. So you can select that for every video, and I would recommend selecting it for every video for most churches. So what happens if you select yes, it's made for kids? So if you select that yes, made for kids option, a couple of features will be turned off on your video that people can't use. And those will be cards and end screens, so you can't have end screens or cards on your video. People won't be able to comment on that video. There won't be any live chat during your live streams if it's set to made for kids. There also won't be any personalized advertising, which might not affect many churches. And then finally, people won't be able to save that video to playlist or to a watch later playlist. So there's some smaller and more options that get turned off, but those are probably the big ones for churches. And I think in general, the biggest issue is going to be that live chat. I know a lot of churches live stream their services. So if you check yes, it's made for kids on a live stream, there won't be a live chat on the side. People can't comment in that live chat box as the service or the video is going on. But it is very important that you do select the right box. If you don't, sometimes YouTube will go through and they'll select it for you. If it was an obvious made for kids video and you'd select it wasn't, sometimes they'll change it for you. And also this is to comply with a government regulation. So I would recommend that yes, churches should do this properly. So how do you know which one to select? How do you know if it's made for kids or not? I know some people aren't sure if like their live stream services should be considered made for kids or not. So what YouTube recommends is you should select made for kids if one, its intended primary audience is kids. That makes sense. You made that video so that kids would watch it. Or if the primary audience may not be kids, but it will attract a lot of children because of the content in it, then you should also select made for kids. So an example of that for a church might be if you have, say, a children's play, like maybe you've live streamed a children's performance of some kid play or concert or something the kids are putting on, and it's technically targeted towards adults, towards their parents and the other adults in the congregation. But because it is children performing a children's play or children's content, you should still mark it as made for kids because it will attract kids on YouTube. In general, your normal worship services can be marked not made for kids, unless there's like an extended children's program or children's sermon in it. Then you might want to mark it made for kids, but in general, just a typical Sunday morning worship service will not be made for kids. Even though kids might be watching it and might be enjoying it, it's not going to primarily attract children to watch it, so you can mark not made for kids. That way you can also still have your live chat on the side and comments below. So in general, you can use your best judgment and just make a common sense decision. Did you make it specifically for kids? Or if you didn't make it specifically for kids, will it primarily attract children's attention on YouTube? For instance, a children's play. But it's not something you need to stress about. Just be honest and pick the best option for your video, and it'll be fine. Thank you for joining me. I really do hope you and your church found this video helpful, and stick around because more YouTube 101 for churches is on the way. So good luck on YouTube, and if you did find this video helpful, please subscribe to Mina Studio. I will see you back here soon.